Huge news, Liverpool fans. Darwin Nunez and Harvey Elliott are set to leave Liverpool. Darwin is set to join Al Hilal. Harvey is most likely going to join RB Leipzig. We're going to get into the terms of their new contracts, the price and fee estimates, and kind of just look at their careers at Liverpool as a whole and talk through what this means for Liverpool after this. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, like if you end up enjoying as well, and comment down below with your thoughts on Darwin Nunez and Harvey Elliott leaving Liverpool. We're going to start with Darwin. Darwin has a special place in my heart because he is the reason why not the reason why, but he was the first video that I put out on this channel. His transfer was really hyped up, somewhere in the fee of like 60, 70 million at the time. We'll look at his market value right now is 45. They're saying. I think Liverpool's getting a bit more than that. But still, his return over the last few years hasn't been the best. This is from last season: 7 goals, 7 assists in 47 fixtures. In the season before that, if we look at it, also not really the most ideal return. I mean, a lot better: 18 and 15 and 54, and double digits in goals and assists in the Prem alone. So his return in the Prem 2 seasons ago was more than his return altogether last season. And if we look at minutes, I mean, I imagine he had considerably less football played. But point aside, Darwin Nunez going to Al Hilal. I have the Al Hilal kind of lineup here from preseason, from the most recent preseason game, which was against Fluminense in the Club World Cup quarterfinals, I believe. Yeah. They lost 2-1. And you look at this squad, and it's not like he's going to a whole different league, a whole different continent. Going to Saudi, especially at this age, is usually like, I mean, we saw how they competed at the Club World Cup. I mean, they all themselves beat City. So that's like its whole own, can of worms to discuss. But, like you look at the squad and you see likes of Neves, Bono, Lodi, Milinkovic-Savic, Malcolm, Marcos Leonardo is pretty good for them from what I hear, and Joel Cancelo. And you add Darwin to this mix, that's a pretty decent looking squad. So club to club, 100% done according to Fabrizio Romano. The club to club agreement is set in place, and now talks are starting with Darwin to get the green light on his personal terms. I imagine Darwin takes this. Ekitike is coming in. Liverpool are sniffing around Isak. There's a huge chance that he's not at all going to get any minutes, like really, at Liverpool this season moving forward. Actively, Liverpool are looking to sell him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he said yes, because there was links in January. There was always like rumors that Darwin could go in the summer. And Al Hilal and Saudi have been consistently a place that has been, talked about as a possibility. And I mean, if they get him, then, they'll have gotten him. And I think it's basically done on the club to club side. So if he agrees personal terms, it's official. So 53 million. The initial fee I think was, let's say, 70, 75. I forget the exact figure. It doesn't really matter now, but it's a loss for Liverpool on the books. But at the end of the day, I think that's still a decent chunk of money that, once you see that Harvey's, we're getting a certain amount for Harvey. We have already sold Diaz for like 60, 70 mil. You add this to that, you're looking at well over 150 million in outgoings. But long story short, 3 pretty reliable sources all saying the same thing. Darwin Nunez, 53 million to Al Hilal. What this means for Liverpool going forward, we have Ekitike. Ekitike was basically going to take up one of those attacking spots. Diaz gone, now Nunez gone, and sadly, of course, we can never forget Diogo Jota tragically passing away. That leaves a huge hole in Liverpool's attack. And you add in Ekitike, And obviously the interest in Isak's there. Isak apparently didn't show up to training. Who knows? But I think this is like a smart move. Rio Ngamoa has been really impressive. Cody Gakpo has been really good as well in preseason and throughout the course of last season. You add an Isak and Ekatike. You have Salah. You have Wirtz, who will be kind of in and around that area. I don't know if we're going to get another wide player. Tyler Morton left for Lyon. That is basically all done and dusted. Besides the fact that Darwin obviously had a personal connection with the fact that I made my first video on him on this channel. Like, you know, it was the first Liverpool video I made, and it was about like Nunez joining. Harvey, he's been at Liverpool for a minute now, going on like 6-7 years. So he's been there for a while. He's won basically everything. And it does feel like this is a move he needs totally. Like, I totally get why he would want this switch now, especially with Wirtz coming in. You know, because Wirtz and Elliott play basically in that same position. And if you're going to have Florian Wirtz basically taking up all that game time that Harvey possibly could have played in, there's no reason for him to stay along. You know, it's going to be sad to see him leave, but if we look at the Leipzig lineup, you can imagine him behind Openda, possibly. He's coming in to replace Xavi Simons, who's likely to join Chelsea, or basically has joined by the time this video is out. But if you get Xavi Simons to Chelsea, you get Harvey Elliott here, you can imagine that it's going to be a bit of a like-for-like replacement there. Obviously, different players, but the profile player is similar enough to where I could see him playing in this Baumgartner role as the like 10 in place of him. Maybe, you know, they also have Johan Bakayoko now, which is something to consider, and Seewald, who I think is a talented midfielder as well. So they have some talent. You know, Nusa on the bench. You know, a lot of talent. Giratrida, former player of Arne Slot, on the bench as well. Baku, Ridley Baku, Rom, Lukeba. You know, it's a talented squad, Leipzig, and I mean, for them, you know, they lost this game as well, 2-1 to Atalanta, the friendly. For them, you know, you look at the reporting between basically what's gone on with Leipzig and Liverpool over the last like 24 hours or so. Basically, Leipzig have made contact with Liverpool over a move for Harvey Elliott. That was the oldest kind of post. Then Plettenberg came in and said that Harvey Elliott is very high in our RB Leipzig shortlist, as revealed days ago in our show. You know, several clubs are interested in 22-year-old Liverpool midfielder, but Leipzig are pushing now, clubs in contact, and that Harvey Elliott has already spoken with Ole Werner and Marcel Schaefer, as per Transfermarkt and Sky Sports Germany reporting. Then we finally got today, RB Leipzig have started discussing contract terms with Harvey Elliott as priority target to replace Xavi Simons. Discussions ongoing, waiting to understand players' decision. This is from Fabrizio Romano this morning after the Darwin news, about a couple hours after that. So for me, the way that I process this is that I kind of like expected them all to go. I didn't expect everyone to go in one summer, but I expected players to leave. Chiesa is probably on his way out as well. He wasn't even on the preseason tour. So he's probably leaving. So for Harvey Elliott, Darwin Nunez, Luis Diaz, and Chiesa, I don't know how much Chiesa is going to go for, but let's just say 10 million. So that's 10 for Chiesa, say 40 million, possibly. There's no fee, but I'm expecting like 35 to 40 million for Harvey Elliott. So let's say just 40 to be safe. Well, 30, we could just say 35. So either way, to be round, 40, 10, 53 from Darwin, that's 103. And then the 70 from Nunez, that's 173 million for 4 players. That is, Liverpool has spent a lot. Liverpool has spent like 200 and something million, but with the earnings from the Premier League, the earnings from the Champions League, the Adidas kit deal taking effect, um, there's a lot of money floating there at Liverpool. I wish both of them nothing but the best. For Liverpool, my expectation and kind of realistic kind of perception of what'll go down is I imagine that we bring in Isak at this point. Should Newcastle not get Sheshko, that puts a bit of a dent in things, but we'll still have that money. I imagine another attacker comes in either way. Maybe somebody a lot cheaper, maybe not. But Gehi should be a absolute priority by now. Get Gehi in, get some cover at center back. I don't know what the plans are there, but if we have Gehi, I'd feel a lot more comfortable. Obviously, with Joe Gomez out, and get another wide player and get a striker and maybe even another kind of midfielder or kind of defensive destroyer six who could possibly play that center back role that I've seen Arne Slot like to deploy in preseason with midfielders or CDMs or fullbacks at center back. We'll see. Anyways, those are my thoughts. Sad to see them go. Wish them nothing but the best. Darwin Nunez to Al Hilal and Harvey Elliott to RB Leipzig. Comment down below in the comment section and let me know what you think about both these transfers, what you think for Liverpool's future for the rest of the transfer window, and your thoughts as the Premier League season basically gets underway in about 9 days or so. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'm Sideline Sedo. Peace.